Hello and all, it's my view of The Promised Neverland, chapter 176, We're Home, and, I guess Happy Mother's Day? Oh god, that's quite a way to end the Mother's Day chapter, I'm not gonna lie. I saw a lot of people online speculating that maybe this was all planned out, that it intentionally delayed the chapter so that this would happen on Mother's Day. I'm not sure I believe it, but I like the theory at least. Anyway, we open up with a beautiful color page. Emma and Musica, finally, the cage is open, they're free, they're no longer held captive anymore. I just think it's really nice, very symbolic, I like that. And we see Emma and Phil, and they're just so happy to see each other again. And I absolutely love this panel of Emma throwing down her gun. I know it comes back to bite her in the butt down the road, but for her, that is a sign of freedom. You know, she doesn't have to have the gun anymore, she doesn't have to be a warrior, she doesn't have to fight to live, fight to protect her family anymore. They can just they can just live. And that's all they've ever really wanted. And then everyone else comes in too. Just a step behind Emma. You know, she was the one who was most excited to see Phil, but the rest of them, they were not far behind. And then he sees Norman, and he's like, wait a minute, Norman, you're supposed to be dead! And just such a great reunion for him. But then he also remembers all the people that he couldn't save, all the ones who were sent off to be shipped that there was nothing he could do about, and I love that Ray's the one that comforts him here. It must have been tough. Sorry and thanks. Because that's literally exactly what Ray went through. Seeing his siblings shipped out time and time again, knowing there was nothing to do, knowing he was absolutely powerless against the farm, against their power. I'm so glad Ray was the one that comforted him there. I see a lot of complaints in the line that Ray doesn't really do enough, say enough, have any real role in the series anymore, but this was his line, this was his moment right here, and it just really fit him so well. And we have this great big hug of everyone just embracing him, just so happy to have Phil back. And hey, then they see Sherry too, one of the other siblings they haven't been giving as much love to. I mean, there's always Phil this, Phil that, but you left behind quite a few other siblings, Emma. You haven't really mentioned them all that much. And the mom here is very much confused. But though thankfully Isabella shows up before she can straight up attack anyone. And when she's told it's over, when she's told now we can just love them, she breaks down, she cries. Because despite what any of us felt about the mothers, you can't raise children like that. You can't live with them, smile with them, play with them, enjoy life with them for years and years without creating some form of attachment. The mothers love the children, and Isabella did everything in her power to make sure they lived happy, healthy lives. Yes, they had to send them out to be food, but there was literally nothing else they could do about it. They couldn't fight the system. They weren't powerful enough. And so when she's told, you know, they're free, they don't have to do this anymore, they can just truly finally love the children, it's just a heartbreaking, and it's just such an amazing moment for her, and I really love it. And then the Royal Army shows up and arrests basically everyone running the farm, which I'm feeling like they're going to be pardoned down the road, but just arresting them now makes things easier moving forward. We also get a shot of the other farms, Glory Bell, Grand Valley, and Goodwill Ridge. And Grand Valley and Goodwill Ridge, it looks like they're inside a dome. It looks like there's a giant glass dome surrounding the entire farm. I'm very curious how they explain that to the children, but I guess I'd do a better job of keeping them in, keeping them from escaping. I mean, Emma and Ray just basically need to climb a wall and then make a zip line. They were able to get to safety. That would have been way harder in Grand Valley or Goodwill Ridge. So I'm not sure about that. Very curious what life was like in the other farms. And then Emma just takes a moment to reflect on all she's been through. How she was so scared and discouraged time and time again, yet she kept pushing forward thanks to her friends. It was an absolutely amazing shot of all her friends, all they've been through, the entire adventure, the entire story they've experienced here and now. Thanks to my friends, we're able to come this far. And they all cry and smile as they're finally free. And we see this absolutely amazing shot of all those she's lost along the way, including sweet little Connie and her bunny. And as they're all celebrating, as they're all realizing we can finally do it, we can finally go to the human world, a dark shadow appears behind them. And I feel so bad for the kids who have yet to see a demon, because this is going to traumatize them for life. But I kind of get where the demon's coming from. I mean, that might sound awful, but I mean, this is Bill. Bill from the warehouse. He's been working at this farm 20, 30 years, basically his entire life. Every day he sees his high-quality meat get shipped out, and he just wants a taste. Just a little taste of it. So he's been saving up for years and years to finally be able to afford some high-class meat. Finally really be able to pamper himself. Finally be able to see what the rich people are eating. And then just as he's about to earn, and just as he's earned enough, just as he's finally able to afford it, the message comes out. Not only has he lost his job, his only source of income, but he's been told that they cannot eat human meat anymore for the rest of their lives, that human meat is now completely banned. What the freak? He'd be very ticked off about this, and he decided, you know what, I'm going after the meat. I'm going after the kids. I'm going to eat all I can. They're arresting my co-workers anyway. They're probably going to get killed, so what's the worst that can happen? I mean, his only real fault here was going to Emma's section of the farm. You know, that's the only place that actually has guns. If he'd gone to any of the other sections, he would be able to eat to his heart's content before anyone could stop him. So, because she threw down the gun in a very touching moment, she now has no means to stop the demon, so she's going to run straight at him and try to save the girl he's about to cut into ribbons. Not the best plan, but definitely an Emma plan. And Emma does kind of make it in time, but just as the claws are about to tear her to pieces, good old Isabella shows up. She puts herself between the demon and Emma, and she saves her child. And it's just such an absolutely amazing shot. And it's just such an absolutely perfect way for her to go out. I mean, I know this is manga, I know anime logic. Oh, you can survive anything. Well, those are two very sharp claws that seem to have completely pierced her heart. Yeah, I don't think she's walking away from that. And I'm honestly not too surprised Isabella died here. A little surprised by the method, but I've been predicting her death for a while. My theory, anyone seen my past videos, has been that the thing Emma promised the Promise Keeper was that she was going to spend eternity with him while the rest of her family got to go to the human world, and Isabella was going to step in and take her place, go to him, make a new promise. She stays with him, Emma goes free, and that was going to be her sacrifice, her way of making things right. But, you know, this works as well, her dying to save her child. I mean, Ray had this whole speech with her about how she should live to find a way to make amends, to make things right. But dying like this, I guess that makes amends in its own way. I mean, I guess that puts things right. I mean, what do you think? Do you think this is an appropriate death for Isabella? You think she should go out a different way? What do you think is the thing Emma promised the Promise Keeper? Because we still don't know about that, and I'm very curious. Also, they didn't actually kill the demon. Ray off a few shots that hits right off center. It almost took him out. Hit the mask. Looks like it hit his shoulder, but he missed the central eye, so he's not actually dead. Curious what's going to happen with him next chapter. I mean, I can't imagine, you know, he's going to be much of a threat at this point, now that Ray has his gun fully aimed at him, and, you know, his claws are basically full of Isabella, so he can't attack. But, yeah, let me think all that down below. Be sure to like, subscribe to this next video. And until next time,
peace.